When I have been talking over the years with companies, anything that they want to do requires a high degree of alignment of the executive team. Any type of dysfunction, any type of tension should be managed first, in my opinion. Because if you're about to make a big change, if you're about to change your strategy, change your sales approach, go after different types of clients, maybe you've got to innovate something, maybe you're behind, I could go on and on and on. The more out of alignment your executive team, the harder it will be. I've seen this happen over and over and over. They push those things to the side, they ignore them, and they wonder why things take longer, decisions are harder to make, and there's not the kind of alignment you need to move things forward through the headwinds, through the challenges that you're facing. So co-founder conflict comes up quite often.
Welcome to Grow Think Tank. This is the one and only place where you will get insight from the founders and the CEOs of the fastest growing privately held companies. I am the host. My name is Gene Hammett. I help leaders and their teams navigate the defining moments of their growth. Are you ready to grow?
Today we're going to talk about co-founder conflict. I don't think I've addressed this directly on the podcast before, but I am seeing it very often. We just had a CEO group come together, and 3 of the 5 companies were facing some type of co-founder conflict. And so today I want to introduce that concept. Maybe this doesn't resonate with you because you don't have a co-founder. Maybe it doesn't resonate with you because you guys get along like champions. But I find more times than not, co-founders find some way to get out of alignment. There's different types of issues. Some of them are easier to address than others, just like everything, it always depends. But today we're going to talk a little bit about co-founder conflict, and this will be one of a series of things that we're putting out to address the situation to support you in your company growth and your leadership. Hi, my name is Gene Hammett. I'm a CEO coach. We do executive coaching for fast growth companies or companies that are in the mode of growth, and they really want to make sure that everything is aligned together. But when they get down to the heart of it, sometimes something gets in the way. And usually it's not for lack of a strategy or even lack of people, talent. It is lack of leadership. And today we're going to talk about one little aspect of that. I say little, but co-founder conflict. Now, if we can help you in any way, serve you in your business growth, make sure you check out some of our free content. Of course, the podcast is always free, growthinktank.com. You're here, you're listening, but maybe you want to subscribe, or maybe you want to refer this to a friend that this might resonate with. Let's dive into this whole concept of co-founder conflict. When I have been talking over the years with companies, anything that they want to do requires a high degree of alignment of the executive team. Any type of dysfunction, any type of tension should be managed first, in my opinion. Because if you're about to make a big change, if you're about to change your strategy, change your sales approach, go after different types of clients, maybe you've got to innovate something, maybe you're behind, I could go on and on and on. The more out of alignment your executive team, the harder it will be. I've seen this happen over and over and over. They push those things to the side, they ignore them, and they wonder why things take longer, decisions are harder to make, and there's not the kind of alignment you need to move things forward through the headwinds, through the challenges that you're facing. So co-founder conflict comes up quite often. Now, there's different types. It could be something as simple as we just haven't updated our roles and responsibilities and really made that more clear. And one of the things I talk about in leadership is you've got to be explicit. And if those things have evolved over time, maybe that's an easy fix for you guys to sit down and talk about, what you're doing, what they're doing, and get back into a alignment and agreement together. There's other types of things like, maybe the difference in vision, maybe it's the difference in strategy of how we get to the vision, or maybe it's something to that nature where it's getting more difficult to sit down and agree on how we move forward. You're still talking about what the issue is, or you're still talking about something else. Those are signals that you have co-founder conflict that needs to be addressed. Now, I also have faced the type of co-founder conflict that is very aggressive, toxic even. And sometimes I can help them. Sometimes I can, have the kind of conversations that are necessary as an intermediate facilitator, third party, however you want to frame it. I can help you do that. And I'm willing to offer those services to you guys. And I would even do the initial conversation for free because I do care so much about this. So if you're listening to this, you want to send me an email, gene@genehammett.com. I'm here to support you. But those issues, all of the co-founder conflict I've seen, typically gets ignored. typically gets pushed aside to focus on work, to focus on goals, to focus on new challenges, and they're not willing to address the underlying. So in this series that we're going to have over the next maybe month or so, talking about co-founder conflict in different ways, we're going to be unpacking some of the problems and the signs behind it. We're also going to be looking at a framework that will help you move forward. We're going to offer some free trainings around this. There's going to be content that we're going to create, not just for the podcast, but for LinkedIn. And if you are ready to dive in, we're here to support you. Co-founder conflict is something that's happening quite often, and we're going to get ahead of it, be proactive with it, and help you and guide you and support you through that process. Now, you might have questions right now and go, I didn't really get to the heart of it today. This is meant just to introduce this type of content to the podcast and to our conversation. It also applies to executive teams that are not in alignment together. And so all the things that we're talking about from a co-founder conflict, if your executive team isn't working well together, this will work for that too. All that being said, we'd love to support you, and we'd love to hear from you what your real issues are, and we'll create content just for you. So send me that email, gene@genehammett.com. And if you do happen to raise your hand and want help, I'm happy to do that. Just go to that email and we'll set up a time to talk. And it's absolutely free if you mention that you heard it on the podcast. Otherwise, I'm going to charge you. That being said, I really appreciate you listening into the podcast. If you think other people would appreciate this type of content, make sure you mention it to them, tell them why you think it would be useful for them, and maybe because they're going through some type of conflict or tension that they need to get ahead of, they're ignoring it, and you don't know how to address it, you don't have the tools, or you don't have the time, but you can let me do the heavy lifting on that. When you think of growth and you think of leadership, think of Growth Think Tank. As always, lead with courage. We'll see you next time.